It's Wednesday, October 12th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with a look at the latest local news today, including a body identified in Milford, animal cruelty charges in Weston, a mastiff rescued in Ridgefield, and so much more. Frank Granito will have a Nutmeg Sports update and a look at the forecast, and Donald Eng joins us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Trumbull volunteer firefighters pulled one person from the wreckage of a car accident Tuesday afternoon. Check out this photo posted by volunteers on the company's Facebook page. Crews responded to the rollover on Route 25 northbound just prior to Route 111 around 4 in the afternoon. Firefighters found one person unable to exit the vehicle on the roof. Firefighters secured the scene, stabilized the vehicle, popped a door, and applied Speedy Dry and turned the person in the accident over to Trumbull EMS for care. And the state medical examiner's office and local police have identified the person found dead in a burning car in Milford Friday night as 72-year-old Richard Ware. People who knew him said Ware, a longtime Milford resident, had recently been released from jail, where he was serving time for embezzling from several local charities. He was sentenced back in 2014 to 3 years in prison for embezzling more than $230,000 from the Milford Rotary Club, where he was treasurer, as well as funds from 2 other nonprofits, including the Milford Special Olympics and the Milford Club. Some of those funds were returned when the investigation was underway, according to reports. At the time he was sentenced, he was described as a good family man and a community volunteer who took a wrong turn in life. His body was found late Friday night inside a burning car near the Connecticut Audubon Coastal Center. The cause of death has yet to be determined, nor has the cause of fire been determined, but you can check for updates at milfordmirror.com. And police and federal investigators continue to look into what led to a tragic plane crash on Tuesday afternoon in East Hartford. A small airplane yesterday crashed near the Connecticut River, killing one person and injuring another. The Hartford Courant reports that the plane took off from Hartford's Brainerd Airport on Tuesday with a student pilot and an instructor aboard. The student pilot and instructor were trying to land at Brainerd when the plane struck a utility pole in East Hartford and crashed around 4 in the afternoon, bursting into flames. Police say the pilot has been hospitalized with serious burns, and the passenger in the wreckage was presumed dead. Police haven't identified either person yet. 2 people in a minivan near that crash were traumatized and also taken to the hospital. And in other news, a Shelton man was killed and 2 people were injured early last Friday, October 7th, during a car crash on Route 8 near Exit 9 in Trumbull. That, according to State Trooper Kelly Grant. 39-year-old James Paulus of Shelton died in the accident, according to state police, and 2 other passengers were transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. It was the second Route 8 fatality in a week. A 61-year-old Stratford man was killed in a 3-vehicle crash on October 1st. And according to the Weston Forum, police have arrested and charged Weston homeowner Daniel Copulus with animal cruelty in connection with the discovery of hundreds of birds, snakes, and reptiles, many dead or in bad condition, in his home at 82 Newtown Turnpike. Police said Copulus surrendered Tuesday afternoon at Weston Police Headquarters and has been very cooperative. Copulus was released on a promise to appear in court on October 24th. Police said that the animal cruelty charge was based on 224 animals that were taken into custody from the scene. He said the court may make further adjustments based on the number of animals involved. A first animal cruelty offense is punishable by a fine of not more than $1,000 or imprisonment of not more than 1 year. Weston Animal Control Officer Mark Harper said he is glad that the case is proceeding and they'll see Mr. Copulus in court. On October 6th, the Weston Board of Selectmen approved a supplemental appropriation of over $21,000 for expenses incurred in the animal rescue operation. That money will go toward vet bills and medicine for some of the animals that were taken in the seizure of those hundreds of birds, snakes, and reptiles. There is a lot more on that story at thewestonforum.com. And Wilton police announced yesterday that they have charged 18-year-old Martinez Zaruba of 18 Indian Hill Road in Wilton with a breach of peace in the second degree in connection with an incident that took place on August 31st at the Wilton High School field complex. The incident was a fight between Ridgefield and Wilton students that sent a Ridgefield football player to the hospital. Zaruba allegedly struck the victim with his fist, police said. Police had applied for an arrest of third-degree assault, but the state's attorneys rejected that request. According to reports, there were 10 students involved from each side, and police had said they were investigating whether a blunt instrument like a bat or a golf club was used, but police eventually determined that Zaruba used his fists. The students came to Wilton High School before the start of school as part of a scavenger hunt where members of the high school senior class participate in pranks and challenges. One of those items was to urinate on Wilton High's football field, and that spurred the conflict, according to a source. More on that story at wiltonbulletin.com. And a Rowayton resident called police after witnessing a car burglary in the CVS parking lot during the evening of October 4th. Police responded to the scene just after 9:30 in the evening, where they met with the witness. He told the officers he had heard a smashing sound on the way back to his vehicle and saw a black male reaching into a vehicle in the middle of the parking lot. Police located a 2008 Honda CR-V with its front passenger window broken. A rock found inside of the car was likely used to shatter the glass. The complainant could not provide a full description of the suspect, but said he may have had dreadlocks and a gray shirt. The suspect drove away in a light-colored sedan through the Old Kings Highway exit of the parking lot. No other vehicles in the lot were reported damaged. But we're going to switch gears now and throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you very much, Kate. We'll have on and off periods of sun and clouds today, an expected high of 65 and a light breeze during the afternoon before a partly cloudy Wednesday evening and night, where we will see a low of 51 degrees. A little bit warmer on Thursday with temperatures up around 70 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies during the day, and there is a chance for an afternoon and evening shower, but we should see clear skies by midnight as we head towards what looks to be a sun-filled Friday. Plenty of sunshine and a bit chilly out on Friday with temperatures in the low 60s and wind gusts up around 15 miles per hour during the day. Mostly sunny in the afternoon and clear skies overnight as temperatures drop down into the low 40s as we get ready for football to make its return after the FCAC bye week. That's going to do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, I have some good guesses today for Don's This Day in History. That's going to be coming up after the break. We'll find out if I'm right. We'll also have a Nutmeg Sports Update with Frank and some more local news coming up after this. Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan. And you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Visit 5 significant houses designed by Philip Johnson in New Canaan, Connecticut on an exclusive one-day study tour on October 22nd. The tour will visit the Hodgson House, the Alice Ball House, Wiley Speculative House, and Boisanis House, culminating with an evening tour of the Glass House property and festive reception. Tickets include tours of each house, shuttle transportation, and refreshments throughout. Visit theglasshouse.org and click on What's On to get your tickets and more information. As you're getting back to your regular schedules, we're excited to get back to doing what we do best, offering you the freshest seasonal fare and all the ingredients for a healthy start to school. So shop Walter Stewart's for everything fresh, from A, apples to Z, zucchini, and from cotton candy grapes to back to nature all-natural snack bags. We save you time by stocking all of your favorite back-to-school essentials under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
At In Sports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, In Sports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. In Sports College Baseball Coaches Camp takes place at In Sports on October 23rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. This unique limited space event features many of the area's top college baseball coaches who will work with high school players in a hands-on clinic setting as well as evaluate their infield skills. For more information, contact Mike Buswell at In Sports, 203-268-1214.
Like and follow us on Facebook.
Washington Prime, now open on Main Street in Georgetown. Come enjoy our relaxed setting, excellent service, award-winning nightly happy hours, and feast on our creative new American cuisine. Connecticut Magazine's winner for Best Steak, Washington Prime of Georgetown.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network. And we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We're back on this October 12th edition of Your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Eng to take a look back on this day in history. Don, what do you have for us today?
Kate, we have a famous incident that might not have actually happened, but first we're going to go to 1492. Christopher Columbus makes landfall in the Caribbean, specifically the Bahamas, to the everlasting horror of the Bahamians. The natives presented his men with gifts, and he took hostages and demanded their gold, then enslaved the survivors. Fun fact, though, there are 12 cities in the U.S. named after Columbus, including the capital, but he never set foot on the continent. To 1810, the first Oktoberfest celebrated in Munich. The Bavarian royalty invites the citizens to join the celebration of the marriage of Crown Prince Ludwig to Princess Therese von Sachsen-Hildburghausen. Oktoberfest is now annually attracts about 5 million visitors to Munich, but if you think it's just about drinking lots of beer, well, that's where you're right. About 8 million liters consumed during the 2-week festival, which actually takes place mostly in September. You know, beer. To 1960. At the height of the Cold War, Nikita Khrushchev pounds his shoe on a desk at the UN General Assembly to protest the Philippines' assertion that the Soviet Union was colonializing in Eastern Europe. I'd show you a photo of the incident, but there aren't any. In fact, there's some dispute over whether it actually happened. The New York Times reported Khrushchev had brandished his shoe but not pounded it, and his Soviet aides pointed out that the somewhat round Khrushchev couldn't actually reach his feet while seated at a desk. Finally, now we go to 1945 for this.
When you had explosives and bullets so close you could practically feel it and not get wounded up there when I should have been killed a number of times, I know who I owe my life to as well as my men. That's why I like to tell this story to the glory of God, because I know from a human standpoint I should not be here. You can't always win. But when your buddies come to you and say they owe their life to me, what better reward can you get than that?
That was Desmond Doss, who won the Medal of Honor, or was awarded the Medal of Honor on this day in 1945. You've probably seen the trailers for the Mel Gibson movie Hacksaw Ridge coming out in November, based on Desmond Doss, a religious objector who refused to carry a weapon. He single-handedly lowered 75 men to safety while under constant fire in Okinawa. Also got 3 Purple Hearts, primarily due to his willingness to rescue men who were sometimes within 20 feet of enemy positions. Desmond Doss, conscientious objector, Medal of Honor winner on this day, 1945. That's your look back in history for today, October 12th, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, very cool, Don. I got 2 out of 4 today. So
Not bad.
I'm pretty good about that. All right. But in other news today, a Stratford man allegedly in possession of crack cocaine and heroin is facing several drug charges. 21-year-old Misan Duco was charged on September 28th with 2 counts of illegal manufacture and sale of a controlled substance and 1 count of distribution of a controlled substance within 1,500 feet of a school. Police said Duco's arrest is the result of a lengthy investigation into a report of drug activity near Stratford High. Police said officers arrested Duco by warrant, and he was in possession of about 35 grams of crack cocaine, as well as 24 folds of heroin and nearly $5,000 in suspected drug proceeds. All of the cash and drugs were seized, according to police. But let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. We were at St. Joseph yesterday for a battle between two of the top three teams in the FCAC for girls soccer. Both St. Joe's and West Hill came in unbeaten and separated by only 2 points in the conference standings. St. Joe's got goals from Emma O'Neill in the first half and Lindsay Savko in the second half, en route to a 2-0 victory. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from yesterday.
Good afternoon and welcome to St. Joseph's High School here in Trumbull, Connecticut for some girls soccer in the FCAC. Mazzo on possession. Sends one into the box all the way to the cross side. Header on goal and it's in! What a play there. It was Emma O'Neill who finished that one.
Wow, what a header.
Doman taking off possession there. Good job by Miranda Quint. Savko, one touch back to Mazzo. Now the through ball for Savko. She's going to look to split the defense here. Savko, she's in all alone. Savko on Pritchard, fires on goal and scores. What a pretty play from the Cadets. Better finish, and it's 2-0 in favor of Joe's.
It's the way it is right now.
Doman tried to cut back, working through the triple team. Pass to the far side. Oh! And just chipping that one over the cage. It was Emma Callie. Good. Moves to 9-0-1 in the conference. That only tie coming against Wilton. It's the first loss of the year for the Vikings, but nothing to hang their head over as the clock strikes 0. Final score, St. Joe's 2, West Hill nothing.
So following the loss, West Hill now falls to 8-1-2 on the season. With 26 points in conference play, they still sit in third place. They'll look to rebound Thursday afternoon against the Staples Wreckers. St. Joe's now 10-0-1. They are in first place in the conference with 31 points, but they get ready for another huge test Friday afternoon when the also 10-0 Ridgefield Tigers come to town for a battle for first place in the conference in a rematch of last year's FCAC championship. Looking at some of the other girls' scores from around the FCAC yesterday, Ridgefield remained undefeated, shutting out Central 6-0. Staples all over Norwalk 8-1. Greenwich blanked Stamford 2-0. And Wilton over Darien by a score of 2-1. Make sure you tune into Nutmeg Sports this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Dave Stewart and I will have all the girls soccer recap. We're going to take a look at the girls swimming and diving standings as they get set for their postseason coming up shortly. And of course, we'll look forward to tomorrow's volleyball game between McMahon and Staples. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Getting back to some more news today. With a large number of sightings being reported across the country, Shelton Interim Police Chief Sean Segura released a statement saying that all reports of clown sightings in Shelton are merely rumors. Segura said it's all rumors, and to my knowledge, no one has actually seen a clown. Chief Segura said in an effort to make people feel more safe, there has been additional patrol coverage at all of the schools during the mornings. He said we'll continue to work to maintain the community's safety, but as of now, there is no threat or reason to worry about any clown business going on in Shelton. And according to state police, over the Columbus Day weekend, troopers made a few speeding arrests, charging 3 separate drivers for going over 100 miles per hour on a state highway. On October 9th, around 8:20 in the evening, troopers in Tolland on I-84 arrested Samuel Leclerc of Boston for driving 123 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. Later that night at about 10:30 on I-84 eastbound, passing exit 66, troopers observed a Nissan Altima traveling at 108 miles per hour. And upon speaking with the operator, Nelson Vieira, troopers determined that he was also under the influence of alcohol. He was arrested and taken into custody. And then on October 10th, around 10:25 at night on I-84 eastbound in Vernon, they captured a speed of an Audi A4 traveling 136 miles per hour. In that incident, they arrested the driver, Jeremy Clayton of Tolland, for reckless driving. Well, we're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we've been talking about today, as well as telling you about an awesome rescue yesterday in Ridgefield. That and more coming up on your coffee break after this.
This is now 44 years I've been in this business. Digital came along. After I was in business for about 6 years, I had to totally reinvent the business. So I had to make a tremendous investment in my business. And Milford Bank was there for me. I don't really just consider Milford Bank a bank. I consider them a trusted partner in my business. My name is Jim Wilson, owner of Milford Photo. I choose to bank with Milford Bank.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester, where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
I'm a filthy rich executive. I hear the market's down 1,000,000 points. I freak out. I spill my large espresso. The searing pain makes me slam on the brakes. Uh-oh, your fault. And your cut rate insurance may not cover my $90,000 car, so I sue you, because that's what I do. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Visit your local Allstate agent, Nick Montanero, at 6528 Main Street in Trumbull for a personalized quote.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ng for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
We're back on this Wednesday edition of your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top headlines that we're following today, including that Trumbull volunteer firefighters pulled one person from the wreckage of a car accident Tuesday afternoon. Check out this photo posted by volunteers on their Facebook page. Crews responded to the rollover on Route 25 northbound just prior to Route 111 around 4 in the afternoon. Firefighters found one person unable to exit the car, which was on its roof. They ended up pulling the person from the wreckage and turned them over to EMS for care. And the state medical examiner's office and local police have identified the person found dead in a burning car in Milford Friday night as 72-year-old Richard Ware. People who knew him said Ware, a longtime Milford resident, had recently been released from prison, where he was serving time for embezzling from several local charities. He was sentenced back in 2014 to 3 years in prison for embezzling more than $230,000 from the Milford Rotary Club, where he served as treasurer, as well as funds from two other nonprofits, the Milford Special Olympics and the Milford Club. Some of those funds were returned when the investigation was underway, according to reports. And at the time he was sentenced, Ware was described as a good family man and a community volunteer who took a wrong turn in life. His body was found late Friday night inside a burning car near the Connecticut Audubon Coastal Center. The cause of death has not yet been determined, nor has the cause of the fire. And police and federal investigators continue to look into what led to a tragic plane crash on Tuesday afternoon in East Hartford. A small airplane yesterday crashed near the Connecticut River, killing one person and injuring another. The Hartford Courant reports that the plane took off from Hartford's Brainerd Airport on Tuesday with a student pilot and an instructor on board. The student pilot and instructor were trying to land at the airport when the plane struck a utility pole in East Hartford and crashed around 4 in the afternoon, bursting into flames. Police say the pilot has been hospitalized with serious burns, but the passenger who was found in the wreckage was dead. They have not yet been identified. And according to the Weston Forum, police have arrested and charged Weston homeowner Daniel Copulus with animal cruelty in connection with the discovery of hundreds of birds, snakes, and reptiles, many dead or in bad condition, in his home on 82 Newtown Turnpike. Police said Copulus surrendered Tuesday afternoon at Weston Police Headquarters and has been very cooperative. He was released on a promise to appear in court on October 24th. Police said the animal cruelty charge was based on the 224 animals that were taken into custody from the scene. Police said the court may make a further adjustment based on the number of animals involved in that case. But there is a lot more on that story at thewestonforum.com. And finally, some good news out of Ridgefield, a successful rescue. The Ridgefield Fire Department saved a 140-pound mastiff that was stuck in the ceiling of an Armand Place home on Tuesday. Fire Chief Kevin Tappy reported that an air conditioning mechanic was working inside the home and the owner's dog had followed him into the attic, where the animal found a closet with a void area and fell through the hole 7 feet onto ceiling joints below. The owner went into the space to try to get the dog out, but wasn't able to do so, and then ended up calling firefighters around 10:30 yesterday morning. Captain Dave McDevitt arrived at the scene, according to Chief Tappy, and determined there was no way of manually lifting the large dog out of the hole. The firefighters instead used rope rigging and pulleys and harnesses to lower the rescuers into the hole. The dog was attached to a large hoist and winched out of the space. No one was injured, and the dog is in good health. So we're happy to hear that. But let's throw it over to Frank Granito now for one final look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. One more time, on and off periods of sun and clouds today. An expected high of 65, light breeze in the afternoon, and then cloudy overnight with a low of 51. A little warmer on Thursday with temperatures up around 70 degrees, mostly cloudy skies during the day, and there is a chance for a passing shower in the afternoon or evening, but we should see clear skies by midnight as we head towards a very sunny Friday. Plenty of sunshine and a little bit chilly out with temperatures in the low 60s and wind gusts up around 15 miles per hour at the end of this week on Friday. Mostly sunny in the afternoon and clear skies overnight with temperatures all the way down into the 40s as we get ready for some more football as the FCIAC is returning from a bye weekend.
All right, looking forward to it, Frank. But we're going to wrap things up here in your coffee break. CT polls coming at you at 12:30. We have political columnist Kevin Rennie calling in to talk about an upcoming bipartisan panel on the presidential election. We also have State Senator Tony Wong and a lot more. Looking forward to that. And of course, Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. And we will see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Have a great day.